Welcome to the first episode of Exchange Live. I'm doing this intro after we recorded the first podcast. It's going to be a podcast, like I said, on YouTube for exchange students all around the world. I started Exchange Live back in November 2019 while I was on exchange in Kentucky. I did a high school exchange. So after I graduated high school in the Netherlands, I went to the US for a year. I was part of class of 20, so I left in 2019. More about that and about my story in this episode and in the upcoming episodes. I have a lot of stories to tell and to discuss with different guests. My plan is to invite different exchange students on here, exchange students that did high school, exchange students that did uni exchange. So a little bit more about Exchange Life. It's a brand for exchange students, a memory for your time abroad. So you can choose the flags of your host and home country, so you won't ever forget about your experience. I came up with the idea to start this podcast a few weeks ago, to engage with the community and to really try to create a community. That's why I also do it on YouTube, because it's more personal than just hearing someone talk and not seeing who they are. And now you also know who I am and who's behind Exchange Live. So that was important for me to do it on YouTube. I think the quality will improve over time, but let us know if you like it. If you have any questions or ideas for future episodes, let me know. If you have a fun story, you can also DM us. Exchange Live Official on Instagram. Also, our community account is in the description too, Exchange Students. So yeah, enjoy the first episode. Be welcome to the Exchange Live show. We're going to be talking about exchange, about going abroad, about our stories, about your questions. You can send in whatever to our Instagram if you want to ask something or you have a cool story to tell. Maybe we'll call you. Really like a community thing. We started with the hoodies. Or I started back in November 2019. We were both part of class of 20, and I started this in November, and now we're also starting the YouTube. So I'm gonna be inviting different exchange students, and if you wanna come by, let me know. Just DM, and maybe we can make something happen.
Yeah, so I'm Daan.
Today I'm with Dan.
I was part of the class of 22. I spent my exchange year in the
20?
United States. 20, yeah, class of 20.
22. Yeah.
No, 20.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Class of 20.
Class of
yeah.
20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was part of class of 20, and I've been in Montana in the United States for my exchange year.
I went to Kentucky, so we both went to like the middle of nowhere. But Dan
Yeah,
maybe
maybe a little bit more.
a little bit more than me. Yeah. So we went to New York together.
Yeah,
We went there for 3 or 4 days. Was it?
I think it was 4
Yeah.
or maybe
I
like 4 including traveling and like 3 days.
Yeah, we went there for 4 days. So we kind of had a friend group before because we were all really early with
Yeah.
signing up. But Dan actually came late
Yeah, I came a bit
signing
late.
up, but
I
we
was
already
like
had a friend
last
group.
minute.
But then I think we met in the Amsterdam meetup of our organization.
Yeah, we met in Amsterdam at this like school, and we had this one class where I met some people you already knew,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually we went to the McDonald's together
Oh yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
in central Amsterdam, and you saw this like music
Yeah.
festival going on.
So
You never had been to like Amsterdam and the city, so you were
yeah, I come from like a
you
small
were like a
town.
bit overwhelmed.
So we were that's how we met. Me just being whoa, I'm in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I'm from a small town in the Netherlands.
And now you live in a bigger city than me.
Now we live in the big city. But
You do. I still
you live
live at
around
home.
Amsterdam. So then we got we kind of made a friend group with,
Yeah.
and then we all got placed in the same welcome days.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to go to New York.
Yeah,
The-
that was fun. Those were fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it hit you already in New York?
In New York? No, it didn't. It felt like a small vacation with like friends. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like going away for months.
For me too. When we were in New York, it was more of like we're on a trip. So our organization wouldn't let us.
Yeah, so we got free time at Times Square in New York,
Yeah.
and
And-
then we were like, we want to go to this.
This
We
wa-
wanted to go to this shoe store.
Yeah, I wanted to go to a shoe store, and you were like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, let's
you
go.
you were like fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, like Manhattan.
But
I wanted to see Manhattan.
yeah, but the rule
Empire.
was don't go on the subway.
Don't go on the subway. That was
That was
one
like
rule.
that was like the
don't-
rule,
Don't go on the subway.
and we were like, let's go on the subway,
I was like, let's go on the subway.
and
You
I
were
was like, let's go on the subway, but then we went
no,
in the subway.
I did so much like
Convince, yeah.
convincing and persuasive.
I thought I was.
Because Nienke was gonna join us too, as she built.
She built. I
And then I
thought.
finally got you. You walked into the subway,
Yeah.
and we went the wrong way to Union Station.
Yeah, we went on the wrong subway, and that's why we weren't allowed to go
You
on
got
the
so
subway. But I
stressed.
think I got stressed out in the subway. Actually, I was
Yeah,
like,
you got stressed out of the subway.
but not before. But in there, I
yeah,
was like,
you were stressed out
yeah, I
before.
was
You were like,
what are we doing?
yeah.
So then we went in the subway, but we were on the wrong subway, so we ended
Yeah.
up at the wrong station. But then
Union
already
Station.
half of our time was gone.
Yeah.
So
By walking back from Union Station.
yeah, so
to-
I was like, we're not gonna take the subway back, 'cause maybe we'll end up on the other side of New York. So we walked back.
Yeah.
And by the time we were back,
But this
our
one
free
dude
time
was
was
in the
over.
metro, and he was like really helping us. Yeah, you need to take this and this.
but
and
it was so confusing.
it was so much fun.
It was fun, but
And
it
you
was
were
so
so stressed
confusing.
out, and I was like, "Lulululu."
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so one of my things, my memories is I have this big board with pictures with photos on it,
yeah.
and one of the things on there is that ticket, the metro ticket, because it's just such a
Yeah, I still have it too.
memorable
But I
moment.
also have this like agenda kind of book where I wrote down like 2 or 3 sentences every day
yeah.
about my exchange life. So what I did that day,
Yeah.
what was fun, what was different.
So you wrote down one sentence every
Yeah,
day,
Every day.
and just
I
like
try to.
what
Sometimes
like
I forgot.
what is
like,
an example of what you wrote down? Like I feel
um,
good.
So an example was this. I think it was my first or second week of school, and there was this girl. She started asking like questions about what we had in the Netherlands and what we didn't have. And then she asked me the question, "Do you have a faucet?"
Yeah.
And I didn't know what a faucet meant.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of a weird word,
It
right?
was. It's a weird word.
You don't learn that in school. A
So
faucet.
I said like, "I don't have a faucet."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, that's a faucet," but I
Yeah.
kept with the story. So I told her that we had like this bags filled with water that we put above our head and into the shower, and she totally believed me.
Is she bought into
Like,
it?
she was like, "Oh, but isn't that like difficult?" And I was like, "No, we only shower with glacier water,
But-
and it's way better for you and stuff." And she was like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that." And she took it so seriously.
I think they ask weirder things than
Yeah,
that
they-
maybe.
They asked weirder things.
Like going on exchange, the questions you get asked are
yeah,
asked
they're,
her.
they're insane.
Like, do you have cars?
Yeah, do you have cars, or do you live in tree houses?
But who even comes up with that?
And then I had this one girl, she was like, "The Netherlands, isn't that country that's under the water?" She was talking about Atlantis.
That's kind of accurate. Oh,
Yeah, but she thought it was Atlantis. So like,
but it's kind of accurate.
it is under the water.
We
but
are.
we have buildings
Yeah,
and
but
like-
maybe she meant that. She's
no,
pretty
no, no.
smart. and
She
actually.
didn't mean that. She meant like under
Oh,
the
under-
water.
so-
Oh, and then there was this one guy.
Mhm.
You know Peter Pan, right?
Yeah.
He's from I think Neverland or something.
Oh yeah.
And he
I've
thought,
heard that
but,
one
"Oh,
too.
you're kidding.
I heard that one too.
That's not a true place. That's
Yeah.
where Peter Pan comes from."
I heard that one. I mean that's a funny one though.
That's a funny
But
one.
that's not acting like. Do you have cars?
But even my math teacher, he thought that I lived in Holland, and that was inside of Denmark, and that
How do you come up with that?
Amsterdam was the country next to Denmark.
Yeah, I've heard
And-
everyone thought Amsterdam was the country.
The country, like Amsterdam, the country, and then the Netherlands inside of Denmark.
yeah.
And then he thought that the Netherlands was the capital of Denmark.
That's crazy.
It was so
So-
weird. People think the weirdest things.
Yeah, I mean because I think we went to the US on
Yeah.
exchange. I went to Kentucky and he went to Montana. I think a lot of US citizens have never left.
No,
The
because the
US.
country is big enough for it
Yeah,
for its
so,
own.
so
to-
it's kind of it makes sense in a way.
it does
but-
make a bit sense.
'cause
It's not
it's
weird.
like Europe. What is Europe like?
Yeah, why would you go to Europe if you have everything in America?
I mean, yeah, but they're so unfamiliar with what
yeah,
we
but
have
that's what
here.
they think, and yeah,
Yeah.
there's enough in I kind of understand why though.
Yeah. So when did it hit you? We were actually leaving because for me, I didn't realize it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it when we were in New York. It felt more like a trip, like we
Yeah,
said.
New
Like,
York felt more like a trip.
but then, for me, it was when I was flying from my last plane
Mm-hmm.
to Kentucky. I was alone. All the other students from my organization, they were on other. Like almost no one had to go to Kentucky, so I was alone. I was like, what did I get myself into? Like, what did we
Yeah.
start? I was like, where am I going? I don't know the family I'm staying with. I don't know where I'm.
Yeah, I had that to Seattle. So I flew first to Seattle, and then I stayed there at the airport for a bit. And I was like, huh, what am I gonna do? And then from Seattle, I flew to Kalispell, Montana, with this small like airplane that could fit like max 50 people or something.
Yeah.
And then when I was there, my host they were like giving me hugs and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's a bit
Yeah, because
weirder stuff because
you didn't really know them yet.
I didn't know them, and they were like, "Oh, welcome to our family, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be part of it." And it was pretty weird, but everything went so quick.
It's
From
like
that day.
an adjusting. Like for me, it took me like 1 or 2 weeks before I was fully like, I'm settled in.
Yeah, we had like this meeting, 'cause my double placement, he already was there like for 2 weeks or something.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause he went on camp, not the.
Oh, so yeah, he was way earlier.
Yeah, so he was way earlier than me. I
Mhm.
could have gone earlier too, but I didn't want to, 'cause I
Mm.
wanted to
Yeah, I
go on
wanted
the
to
same
stay for
welcome list.
summer here too.
Yeah. So I went there, and then we had like this rule set up, like it's gonna be like this and this and this, and you need to
So
do
you
this.
sat down first with your host family.
Yeah, we sat down a
talking
bit, and
about you.
that was really comfortable and easy,
Mhm.
and that helped a lot. And then yeah, we got to do fun stuff and things I like to do,
Mhm.
where we talked about before me arriving, and then I got to know their family, cross country team,
Mhm.
so people from school,
Mm.
and then a couple of weeks later, school started.
Yeah, for me it was also like 1 week, 1.5 before school started. I don't know, like you said, it went so quick.
Yeah, it went really
Like
quick.
New York, and then all of a sudden you're in your host family. And
Yeah.
that time goes so quick, and you need some time to adjust.
Yeah, you need a bit of time to adjust.
Yeah. Did you? Because your host brother was already there. Did it, or like your double placement?
Mm-hmm.
Did it click right away when you met him, or?
I think it did click with my double placement, but we are also really different from each other.
Yeah.
So we shared a room and we talked a lot, but we always had like separate lives. I
So you
think.
didn't really, yeah. So you didn't, you slept in the same room, but not like you
Like
didn't have the
we
same
didn't
friends.
we didn't sit together at school. We didn't have the same friends at school. We had totally different friend groups. So we did have totally different exchange lives.
And did you mind that, or?
No, I didn't. No, maybe it was. I don't know if it came from his side or mine,
It just wasn't.
but
Yeah.
we were
He
we were
was-
friends
yeah, yeah, of
definitely. But
course.
we did our own things.
But he
at
also
school.
did very different things, right? So
Yeah,
he
he
was in the
he had
football
different-
team. He had
yeah.
to practice. and-
At cross country.
yeah.
We did support each other in the things we did,
Yeah.
but we did live different lives.
Yeah. So when you were on the plane there,
Mm-hmm.
did you have any expectations, or?
So I was gonna go to Montana to a small school,
Yeah.
but not like the smallest one.
Yeah.
We talked about that before.
It
If
wa-
your school's really small, you can say no, but mine was big enough to not say no, and I didn't really agree because it was gonna be the middle of nowhere, with a family, and I was like, yeah, why do I want to go there? It's gonna be too small. I'm not gonna like it, and then eventually I talked to people higher up in the organization, like, I don't want to do this because I don't want to go to that small of a school, and they all told me no, you can go, and if it's not good, you can always change if you don't like the host family or they don't like you. But I did because they were awesome, and I had an awesome exchange.
So you were. I remember you came to me and you were really worried about going to Montana.
Yeah,
'Cause I mean, Montana, out of all places, it's really in the middle of nowhere. But he's a good skier, so they placed him there on purpose to be in a skiing area.
Yeah, they try
So-
really hard to get me placed in that kind of area, and then
and then he was like, "No, I don't want to go here.
yeah,
The
I
school
was
is
like, I
too
don't want to
small."
go into and well, it was fun.
But
like,
you ended up really enjoying going there, right?
yeah, I did.
So that's one thing. Like, I think you shouldn't be worried too much about where you're placed, because I think it's way more important to get a good match with your host family than to
Don't worry.
get placed in Cali or
Yeah, it like California. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's gonna be better if you're placed
no, exactly.
to your likings.
I always say to not choose a state choice or preference or region choice. I don't know. Works different for organizations,
Yeah,
because I rather you have a good host family than be in a sunny place with a bad host family.
I would have liked a sunny place though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, California, you can ski and surf
Yeah, it
on the
yeah.
same day. On the same, yeah, only in Northern California.
But for you,
Um,
you always had snow, so you could
I'd always had
ski.
snow, so that was awesome. But it was so damn cold there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at a moment we had this fire alarm thing.
Mhm.
We couldn't get our jackets or stuff, and we
Mhm.
were, or did we?
Like
yeah,
the
I
fire
think we did
drill?
had fire drill. We had all kind of drills.
Me
We had-
too. Yeah. They do it
and-
often.
Yeah, often.
Like
Have you had like a school shooting drill?
yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't. We didn't.
But
We did have a bus with the buses that you needed to climb out the window and
Really?
stuff. Yeah. But besides that, what was I talking about?
being in Montana in the snow.
Oh yeah,
it's
so it was
really
like
cold.
minus 30 degrees. So that was really cold. But yeah, it was fun, and
But
I rather had snow than sunny.
Yeah, and
times.
you ended up skiing a lot, right?
Yeah, I skied like multiple times a
Yeah.
week.
So, like looking back at it, you're glad you went there, right?
Yeah, I do regret. I do like regret making a big thing about it, because if they would have said like, okay, we will get you another placement,
Yeah.
I might have not liked it as much as I did now.
Yeah. So is that also what you would tell yourself? Like there was we asked on our Instagram to send in questions. So make sure also you follow us on Instagram, Exchange Life Official. And the community account is also in our description. We asked questions in the stories, and a question was, what is advice you would give to yourself? And looking back at it now, like before you could go, is that what you would tell yourself?
Yeah,
like
that's
don't
what I would
stress
tell myself.
about
Don't stress
Montana so
about
much?
it and just go.
Yeah,
Just go with it.
because you didn't really have expectations. Did you?
I did have a bit of expectations, I think, 'cause I did want skiing or something else I could have done, and I wanted some like activities to do, so
Yeah.
maybe some nature around, or not like going to school and nothing else. I wanted to
yeah.
get more out of my exchange.
Thinking about it, I just realized I declined my first host family.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy because I never thought about it till this day. I declined my first host family. So in special cases they call you first and you could say
Yeah.
I would like to go or I would like a different host family. So I had a single host dad with a double placement at a really small school. So all the
but what was a really small school?
I think it was like 100 something people.
Yeah,
And
that's not-
they asked me, but for me, I really wanted to go to play football. So for me, it was really
Yeah.
important that I could play football on a high level. So that's why I decided to decline it, even though
Yeah.
it's on a bigger school harder to get in the team.
No, it's not only harder to get into the team, but a lot of big schools in big states don't allow you to do sports if you already
Also
finish your.
yeah, that's also a problem you can run into.
Yeah.
But I said no. But thinking about it now, my exchange would have been totally
it
different.
would have been totally different.
Like I said, like, yeah, but you didn't have a single dad.
I didn't have a single
Right.
dad, but I had a bigger school too.
Yeah, you had a
Because I
bigger
couldn't
school.
decline
Oh, you
my.
couldn't decline it?
No, I couldn't.
So you can't even decline for a double placement, I think.
you can decline. So I was the first placement.
Oh,
So if you're the double placement, you can decline the host family
Mm.
for being the double placement, and if you're the first placement, you can
say
decline
that you want
the double placement.
Mm. I think, I think it would like a double placement. I think is really a really fun thing.
Yeah, I think it's a really fun thing too. My double placement got sent back home,
Yeah,
so there was
yeah.
quite
After
a
a while,
drama over there.
but it was after a while.
But
Like
that was after a
in
while.
the end,
Yeah,
it was almost the
it
same
was almost
time
the
we
same.
had to go
Yeah,
home.
I think he left after like 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, so we were class of 20, so all the COVID stuff happened when we were in the US.
Yeah, we had all the COVID restrictions,
So after like
so we got sent back home.
8 months, they were like, "Yeah, it's time to go home. In a week, you fly back." That that was crazy, actually.
Sometimes I remember in the beginning, I told people something like, "Yeah, I got sent back home after 9 months," or
Mhm.
sometimes I would even tell like 10 months, because I didn't want it to be true that I missed so much.
So you tried really?
Yeah.
For
So
me,
I remember telling people like, "Yeah, I went on exchange for 9 months," even
mhm.
though it was like 10. But I don't know why I did it, but it was hard for me because I had planned so much fun things to do, and I was
Yeah.
gonna go to Mexico and travel to Canada, and yeah, it was
So
gonna be
yeah, in the
awesome.
last 2 months, a lot of times it's fully
Yeah,
planned with
springtime
fun
is
things.
awesome.
Yeah, it's springtime, it's spring break. You got like prom and you got like graduation and all those
Yeah.
things. We had to miss it. And the day I flew back home, I was supposed to fly to LA with like my friends, my exchange student friends in Kentucky. So we all, I really,
Yeah.
but I wasn't. I think I was more bummed out sitting at home the next months
Yeah,
than
being home,
having.
and for me it was really hard that I was doing nothing and I was sitting
Yeah.
on my ass back
So
home over here.
we got sent
And
back like 2 months before summer break,
yeah,
but we also didn't have school because we
but
were on exchange.
all my friends
They had to do something.
over here, they had
Yeah,
to do like
school.
school,
They had
or yeah,
exams.
they had exams and stuff. But back in the United States, the skiing resort was still open, and they
Yeah.
did all that kind of fun stuff, summer skiing.
So you would have tried to stay
I would
longer,
probably
looking
have
back
tried
at
to.
it.
I don't know, 'cause I might have not gotten back like for my education,
Mm.
but everything. Yeah, I can say I would have done this different and that, but
Yeah. In the end, like,
in that moment,
yeah,
that probably was best for.
yeah. I think in the end we had a really fun time.
Yeah, we really did.
Is there anything you would do different though? Like,
Mm,
forgetting
maybe
about that
being
stuff.
maybe in the beginning about not wanting to go to Montana,
Mm.
but other than that,
Other
I
than
don't
that,
like regret anything,
no.
'cause in the moment I did what I wanted to
Yeah.
do and I did it for good reasons. So yeah,
Yeah,
not
I think
much.
I also don't regret anything, but looking back at it, I would have started to really figure out who I would get along with in school
Yeah.
like sooner, because I really hung out mostly with my host brother and his friends, so they became really good friends.
Mhm.
But I didn't really um after so in football season I practiced every day, so those were really my close friends. But after that I didn't really go out of my way to really make my own friends group. But only after I left I realized, oh, these people would have been I would have connected really good with. So I would have maybe tried to figure that out sooner. But you're only there for 10 months, and it goes by fast.
Yeah, it goes by really fast.
It goes by really
I
fast.
think
So
making friends in the US is also after you leave for your exchange year, it's so hard. 'Cause I want to see my friends again, 'cause they became really good friends. But like I was friends with a couple of seniors, juniors, and one or two sophomores.
yeah,
'Cause the juniors were around my age, but I was a senior.
yeah.
So the seniors moved away from their town right
Mm.
after graduation, so they live around the entire country, and the juniors do too now. So
Mm.
the only ones still living there are like two of my sophomore friends, because they're now seniors in high school. But everybody lives at a different place. They all went to college, some in California, some in Montana. So that's pretty hard to visit them again.
Because they're like more spread out now and
Yeah,
never
they're
in the
really
same
spread
place.
out.
Maybe it's better to go then during Christmas, 'cause
Most
most
get
people
back
get
home.
home.
Yeah.
What is your? We also got the questions about making friends and meeting people. Um, I think going to clubs and
Yeah,
joining
career.
sports is really good. What do
Yeah,
you?
clubs and sports is the best
What
for
you
making
did
friends.
clubs, right?
I did clubs and sports. Yeah,
So which club were you in?
I was in career club, and student council,
Mhm.
and I was setting up my own ski club. But that
Yeah,
didn't
but then
finish.
so you were starting like your own ski
Yeah, I
group
was
in
starting my own
school,
club.
but then that sadly didn't go through. So you were, and that's where you met your friends too.
Yeah, I met a lot of friends in cross country. So my first sport, I met some people in student council was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of fun because it was really like the TV shows and stuff. And I met my friends in class, and it was a small school, so everybody kind of knew me.
yeah, because yeah, you're the. I think even me going to a big school, you're still the European guy.
Yeah, you're still a
You're the
European
exchange
guy.
student with
Yeah.
the accent. They
I
really
remember everybody voting on me for student, not only for student council. That was fun because
yeah.
I needed to give like this speech at like my third day of school
Mm-hmm.
in the auditorium, and everybody was
Were
there, and
Were you scared?
I was a bit scared. Yeah,
Because also in your community, everyone knows each other. And
everybody knows each
it's
other,
so
and
small.
they have gone to like kindergarten together,
Yeah.
and now
But
they're on high school
didn't you
together.
feel out of place then? Coming there?
Sometimes
You were
yeah.
like, everyone here knows everything about each other, and I'm just here.
Yeah,
I felt like that even, and I have a big school. I felt like that sometimes, where like,
yeah, but I do like because I was new, and sometimes people move and new people come
mm,
in, so it does happen,
yeah,
and they're really open for other
moving
people.
happens a lot there.
Moving happens a lot, yeah.
Mm,
Like I think every year 10 people move in, 10 people move out the
yeah,
town, and they're always like
yeah,
10 families, so more people, but 10 families, it sounds like nothing. But yeah, everybody knows what's happening in town.
that yeah. I think coming back to the making friends, so joining clubs, really
Joining
do
clubs,
something.
definitely. Do something besides going to your
school,
classes.
yeah, because otherwise you have to put some effort into making friends, and if you go to a club you're interested in, you meet like-minded people, and
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to make friends. For me, it was then I had a host brother my age, so it was easier getting to know people my age, and I was in the football team, which is like a really,
Yeah.
really like it's like a family. So
Yeah, you definitely need to join or sports or clubs.
yeah,
Maybe even both, because if you do sports, it doesn't even mean you need to be sporty. Like
yeah,
you
you
can
can do
join the
whatever.
football team as a manager
Yeah, in the
and
US, yeah, you can
just
really.
plan stuff and
Yeah,
help them travel, but not do anything that has anything to do with
yeah.
sports.
There is like rules for everything. And
Yeah,
that's true. So it's not only cheerleading and football.
it's
Like,
not only cheerleading, football, and every school has clubs and stuff to
yeah,
do. And if they don't, you can set it up.
yeah, and that's also not the only thing you can do there. A lot of people set their mind to that, but don't be bummed out if you can't join the cheerleading team, or you won't make the football team, or
Yeah, find something else.
yeah, maybe you can't do it
'Cause
because of restrictions. There is a lot more to do than just that.
back home, you also don't sit on your ass and only go to school. You
Yeah.
do other stuff too, so
But
you should do it.
I
there
learned a
too.
lot from it, like having to go out of my comfort zone and being
Yeah,
in a whole new
definitely.
environment. I'm so happy I went. Like,
Because when you go out of your comfort zone, you really experience those
yeah, you learn
memorable.
exactly, and you learn a
Adventures.
lot.
Yeah,
So for me, I didn't really go with any expectations, but it did fulfill everything that I like thought about before, because I wasn't thinking about High School Musical. I was just thinking about a new experience in a completely different country, and I really enjoyed it a lot.
yeah. But even if you're like thinking about High School Musical,
Mm-hmm.
you still need to create your own like High School Musical.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
not
what,
handed to you.
no, it's really what you make yourself out of it.
So it's what you
what you
make out of
yourself-
your
yeah.
exchange.
Yeah, really true. What is like the most memorable experience you've had?
The most memorable.
It can be whatever.
I definitely don't know what's the most memorable. I know that. Oh, Fugitive was one of the most memorable.
Oh yeah,
things.
so you played Fugitives.
Yeah.
So
So that
explain
was
it.
really
It's,
memorable. Okay,
Fugitive is like a really American thing, right?
it's a really American game, mostly played in like smaller towns, I think.
Mhm.
And you have like two teams, the fugitives and the cops.
Yeah.
And you go from destination A to destination B as fugitive, and the cops try to stop you. When they tag you, it's over, and you get caught.
So the cops, they have a
They
car.
go by car, yeah,
And you have to
the
run.
fugitive goes by foot.
So I never really understood this. I think it's easy, right? As a fugitive, you just hide in a Oh no, so you have to go from there to there.
Yeah, and you also have
But-
like a time deadline.
But the cops have a car, so if you just run past the road, they won't see you.
No, if you're okay, so they see everything. They have this big lights on the cars, and
Yeah.
they will find you definitely. And the car will almost drive at you,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody else will jump
Jump out
out
and run
while the
after
car
you.
is driving, and then they will run after you.
Okay, so,
And
tell the
especially in
story.
like a town as Eureka,
Yeah.
you have like
so his
this-
town was called Eureka. Isn't
yeah, it was
even
called
more
Eureka.
Like, yeah,
Huh?
That's like so.
What?
That's like out of some Netflix series.
Yeah, it's out of like a
Eureka, like playing fugitives, and then
But back at that, back
Yeah.
at that. So you have a lot of like you have the highway, and you have some roads, but like to get to another place, you need to use the roads because all the other things are private property, and you need to get over all kind of obstacles. So that's hard. So you are by the road, but the first time we went up this mountain on the left because we
Mhm.
were in a valley, and we were walking in somebody's yard and stuff.
yeah.
And then we crossed the highway that would split town in half. Because we went from historical village on the
Mhm.
southern side of town
Mhm.
to the big grocery store.
That
on
was the
n-
destination.
Yeah, that was the destination on the north side of town.
Mhm.
And we ran over the highway, and there's a lot of cars. There's like 30 of them,
Yeah.
and they saw us right away, I think. And then we had to
How many
slide.
cars? There were 30
30 cars or something
looking.
searching for us.
And
yeah.
how many Okay, then it's hard. Yeah.
So
and
there
how
were-
many fugitives?
I think maybe 100. No, maybe like there were 150 people playing.
So that's
and
like the whole junior and seniors.
yeah, like almost everybody
section.
played the game.
But that's crazy. That's so fun.
And
So
sometimes even the cops join. So then
Really?
you have a cop running after you.
that's. So then you cross the highway.
So we crossed the highway, and this pickup truck started driving at us, and we went into one street.
You were like.
And then there
we're
was
doing-
like another car, and it started running and running
Yeah.
and running. And then this car braked right behind me,
Mhm.
and this huge dude, like with big muscles of the football team, he came out.
Yeah.
He started running after me, and it was a pretty long time that I kept running. And then
Yeah, because you're
another
cross
dude came
country.
around too,
Yeah.
and then they had me like,
So
And
you
this-
it's over.
because I didn't know everything in town where it was yet, so I was on this dead end,
Mm.
and then I was like,
I
got
can
tagged.
I can imagine it.
And then the second time we played from historical, so the same starting point.
Is this a different day or
No, that was the
second
same day. It
round?
was the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to the post office, which was a bit closer. So we went to the right side of town instead of the left side, because that's mountainy, it's high, it's steep. So we went to the other side, also a bit mountains, but we were hiding under this tree, and you heard those cars coming, and with like all kind of sounds. But we made it to post office. I had this car again in my bag, and I kept running, and we made it. And then my host that came, he picked us up because he was,
was
really
mad?
mad. He was mad.
How did you find out? Like
Um,
you just saw cars running around.
because
Or
he
like
went
people-
because it
kids
was
running
after
around his house?
homecoming dance
Yeah.
or during homecoming dance, but he went to the dance and he saw that we weren't there.
So he's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, "Where are you?"
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then he picked you up and he.
he got mad, and we had like I think I didn't get much punishment.
Just a long talk.
A long talk.
I've had that once in my host family, but they didn't do it in our town.
Maybe they did.
I think it's like a small town thing
I think it's a small town thing.
because it's like the whole community joins.
Yeah, people don't like it. Like coaches, teachers, they don't. Want
I
you to
think
play.
even our organization said
they don't really approve of it.
they are like don't
Don't play fugitive.
yeah
We should play it over here.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
when?
I think you are the only one that played it from the people we know that
Yeah.
went on exchange.
Yeah, I think too.
That's cool. My most memorable moment was, I remember this so clearly. It was it wasn't even my own idea to go to the
Mhm.
US. Like I wanted a gap year, but my parents said
Make a
let's do
plan.
something for your gap year, and then my mom was like, "Do you want to go to the US?" So I'm really lucky that she came up with a plan, and I was like, "All right, let's go to the US." And I've always been very athletic, so I really wanted to try and compete there on the level with football.
Mhm.
So I was able to join the team, and then my first game, I remember it was the first game of the new school, And also right away the rivalry. So the schools split up, and the
Yeah.
first game was those two schools playing against each other. So like the whole town was out. So it really looked like a college game. The amount of people that were there and
Yeah.
this how full the stands were. So I remember like being in the like getting dressed up and like they hype you up. They like the coaches go crazy, and then running out on the field. I remember like looking around and like how did I get here? This is so cool. Like I looked around and I was like, this is really my dream, and now I'm running here. And then I also thought, but my parents will never experience this. Have you ever had that?
No, I've not.
Have you never had the
No.
feeling where you're like, I experienced all these things here and I can tell my parents, but they will never know. They will never know, like,
Oh yeah,
how it
I've
was
had
really.
that. Yeah.
Because I can show them pictures of that moment, but they will never feel the moment. Do you, like, does
Yeah,
that
I
make sense?
understand you, but I don't only have that with my parents. I've that with a lot of people, like
Do you?
also back home friends.
Because your family didn't visit you, right?
No, they were gonna, but then
But then-
COVID. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine. So do you mind that afterwards or?
no, I don't mind. Of course I mind. I would have gone to like Mexico with them,
Yeah.
so that would have.
But then still, they wouldn't have seen your
no, they
hometown.
wouldn't have seen my hometown.
That's a thought I've had, like quite often. Like, I still talk to them to this day about it, but they will never.
Understand?
Yeah, they can listen.
They can understand, but they can't feel.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
it's
pretty
like
crazy.
the first thing, because we went when we were like 16. It's like the first thing you really go and do, alone.
Yeah, definitely.
but it taught me a lot being. Like,
It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah,
Do you have any more questions?
I think so.
What?
Is there?
Scared before going on exchange.
Yeah, so there's also a little bit with the expectations. Like we didn't really have expectations. Also, like for me, it was my mom's idea, so I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think about it until I went, and I was like, what did I get myself into? But I
Yeah.
wasn't really scared.
You can have expectations, but you need to put in the work for yourself to make it
Yeah,
happen. I think.
But were you scared? Like
Oh,
I think we
whereas
both
no, I
didn't-
definitely wasn't scared.
We both also
No.
didn't cry, I think.
No, I wasn't scared.
But
What
like,
about Christmas?
looking back at it, it's a big thing going
Is it?
on
It's a
for
big
10 months.
thing.
But
But I
at
still
that-
don't see it as a really big thing.
no, yeah, no, but also yeah, for the first time going away for so long. But I
Imagine going on exchange like 30 years ago
yeah.
with the only way to communicate with back
Yeah,
home
that's
by
very
letters.
different. Yeah, it's easy now to talk. We had like
With FaceTime and stuff.
FaceTime,
So that
we-
was
we called like weekly with our. We have like a friends group of exchange students. We called weekly with each other to like, so we could also always relate with each other.
yeah, that was fun.
What did you ask before?
Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Yeah, so
about homesickness and
it's
stuff.
like the holiday period right now. And
Yeah.
let's see. I texted my mom, my host mom yesterday, my host dad, like Merry
Yeah, me
Christmas.
too.
Did you?
Yeah, I did
Like
too.
Merry Christmas. And, love and miss you guys. But did you experience any homesickness while being there in the holiday period?
Homesickness, not during like the holiday season was pretty decent. So I first had like hunting season, then Thanksgiving,
Oh, yeah.
which was really fun. Thanksgiving. Then we had Christmas. It was doable. It was not much different from home. I did
Mhm.
miss my family, but I told them Merry Christmas and stuff. But then New Year's Eve came, and New Year's Eve is a big thing in the Netherlands.
Yeah, so it's
We
like
celebrate it.
it's
It's
probably
fun.
the biggest
Yeah, it's one of
celebrated day in
the
the
best,
Netherlands.
most celebrated days in the Netherlands. And then my host had shut his gun, and we played some board games, and it
That's
didn't.
so typical.
I didn't.
My host had
Yeah,
shut his
I know.
gun,
I know.
And then we went back inside. And then we went
Shooting
to
was really
sleep.
fun though. Shooting is fun. But then I was like, okay, this was it.
Yeah.
It's another year,
Yeah.
and I didn't really feel like I said
A New
goodbye
Year's.
to 2019 and
Yeah.
said hello to 2020. Like, I don't know. If you're in the Netherlands, you're like, oh, fuck off 2019.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go
it's
next
like
year.
yeah.
And you really celebrate it, and it's
Yeah.
fireworks,
Mm.
oliebollen,
Mm.
all that kind of stuff. And it was nothing. It was
So you
almost
were-
nothing.
You were missing.
And I was missing my family and the party and the fun and the booze. And January came, and I got a lot of skiing, so that was good. I like the skiing, but it was boring in January
Yeah.
because it was cold. There wasn't much
Yeah.
snow.
I think
It was a hard time.
January is like the January, February are like the hardest.
Yeah, they're the
months,
hardest months.
where you're like, because all the fun stuff is so first you have like the first 2 months it's all new going to high school.
Yeah, definitely.
Then the holiday period starts,
yeah.
and you're like Thanksgiving, but then January, February comes and it's
Yeah,
like,
you have
oh,
those 2 months in between spring season. You're gonna do fun stuff
Yeah,
again, and
yeah,
it's gonna
it's-
be awesome. But those 2 months are, for me, they were pretty boring, and that was when I was homesick the most.
yeah. So then at that point, school kind of becomes a routine.
Yeah, it comes
And
to routine.
It's like cold, and also all the fun stuff is planned for spring and on.
yeah,
So it's kind of like, yeah, you really have to go out and make that time fun. But I think also around that time, I kind of missed home. I never really was homesick.
yeah. I wasn't homesick either, but that was the only moment I missed home.
Yeah. And how did you deal with it? Just I call my parents like once a week.
Yeah, me too. I didn't call them more than once a week.
that's
I talked
also-
a lot with you guys.
Yeah,
we
we
played.
like,
we
yeah,
played some games.
So we
and
had like
stuff.
a friend group with the, like we said, with other exchange students, and we called like weekly. And
Yeah.
it's nice because you can relate. Like,
I think in January, maybe even every other day.
yeah, very often.
Yeah, that was often. But that was awesome. But yeah, I didn't get homesick much, but I think January, February is the hardest months.
Yeah. me
Most
too.
people go home during those months. Like the people that go home then, or in the beginning.
So we were both not really homesick, but also I think we both had a fun Christmas there, like
Yeah, we had a
a
fun Christmas.
because your family was also pretty close, and
Yeah, my Christmas was pretty fun. We
So we-
didn't go on a big Christmas holiday.
no, me neither.
That made me maybe even a little bit jealous sometimes. Cause
Why?
I remember like some of our friends.
But
going
only
to, like,
one went to Mexico.
Mexico, and yeah, I don't know. I wanted to go there because it was cold in Montana, but
Yeah.
I had a lot of skiing, so it was definitely fun.
Yeah.
And we went on a small trip to Billings, Montana. That was fun.
Billy,
Billings.
let's go on a trip in Montana.
I remember.
What is there? Maybe instead of 5,000 people, 10,000
I
people.
remember, like, you know, the community exchange account you have.
Yeah.
I remember on there that they posted like the states
Yeah.
and then people that went there that got
And
placed.
so you checked that?
And I checked that, and you had like New York, and then there were like 30 people placed.
Yeah.
California, 80 people.
Yeah.
Kentucky also 40 or 50.
Yeah, Kentucky's actually.
They had a lot of
Yeah.
placements in the state Kentucky,
Yeah, but Montana.
and then Montana, me
Yeah.
and one other person. One.
Well,
I was like, okay.
did you meet her or him?
No, I did not. She lived on the other side of the state.
And
That's
probably-
like 16-hour drive.
it's crazy. I
Montana is huge.
yeah, is it?
Yeah.
My best friend there was also another exchange student. He was from Germany.
Germany.
Noah.
Noah.
We
Do you still talk to him?
like occasionally, and he's actually now together with a German girl he met on his school that was also on exchange,
That's fun.
and they're like couple goals right now.
Really?
I mean, like they're
Oh, wow.
like really happy together. I think I don't know. So that's pretty cool.
They're
Actually,
gonna make an exchange baby.
actually, that
Uh,
there was one. We posted a poll once with questions like relationships
Yeah.
on exchange, and this couple responded like, we met while one of them was on exchange, and now we're married and getting our first child.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Fun though, but insane.
Did
My host family didn't allow girlfriends or boyfriends. No.
I
But a
didn't-
good reason, because when you leave for your exchange and you break up, then everything around your exchange has been around that
with the
person
girlfriend.
too.
Mm.
And if you want to be boyfriend or girlfriend, you can also do that after your
Yeah.
exchange. And you,
That's actually a really good
because I have this
point.
one girl, she's from Sweden, and she had a boyfriend, and she really regrets having one.
That's a really good point, because what you say is that when you do have a boyfriend or girlfriend, everything you do is
It's
together
with
with
them,
her,
yeah.
and it's not really your exchange.
No, it's a couple.
That's actually a good point. I
Because
never thought about it like that.
relationships are really different in the United States. It's almost
Yeah.
like you're. I I remember that there's this meme with mom, come get me, they're getting married. And I
Because
remember
like,
it's a meme.
but
Like when you
are
go to a
like,
Christian
yeah,
school
yeah.
or something. But
It's very serious
people
or
in my senior class got married like
yeah.
when they were done with high school.
It's yeah. You can't compare it to
I've
here.
had I could have gone to a wedding
Mm.
of people my age. That's
Yeah,
insane.
I on purpose didn't talk to anyone there because I didn't want to start liking someone and then
Yeah.
having to leave.
No, understandable, definitely.
So I didn't.
But you can talk to them.
Yeah, but I was just in my mind even I'm not even gonna talk to like a girl here because I just don't want to start liking someone.
Yeah, understandable.
I would have maybe done that differently, but I think at that age I couldn't have done it differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like back then I think I wasn't mature enough to like also
makes sense.
handle like going home, and so I'm glad I didn't really talk to anyone. So you had like a fun Christmas, like
Yeah, Christmas is fun.
Thanksgiving. I really enjoyed Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
It's
Thanksgiving
like the
was
same
fun.
as Christmas. Or it's like you're with your family, but just no gifts.
Yeah, it's just no gift.
Eating
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
no gifts. I even got gifts from my host grandmother.
Really? I
Yeah.
think we. Yeah, me too. Me too. I got.
That made me feel really part of the family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Like we got. I think I got like a
One of
sh-
the weirdest things.
shell case or
Oh, that's
something
awesome.
of a
One of
gun.
the weirdest things was like it was winter in Montana,
Yeah,
and we went ice fishing, like
that's
with a
crazy.
hole in the ice. But my host dad didn't want to walk on the ice
Yeah.
until it was like 20 centimeters thick.
So,
So 20 centimeters.
but you had to.
It's about like two times
But
your
were you gonna
fist.
check it first or?
No, but like yeah, he was gonna check it first and stuff.
Yeah.
But the ice needed to be two
Twen-
fist thick before you would walk on it. While over here, if it's like
Yeah,
a finger thick,
people run on it.
people go ice skating
Yeah.
and they go walking on it.
But I
and
guess maybe the waters are a little more deep.
no, it hasn't anything to do with the waters. It just they take their pickup trucks
Yeah.
and they drive it on the ice.
I mean, then you want it to be. I mean,
that's insane.
that's awesome. Though.
I remember driving to another town and there's so much lakes in western Montana.
Yeah.
And I saw just this pickup truck parked next to a tent while they
Mhm.
were fishing
Yeah.
on the middle of the ice.
That's great. That's fun. That's Montana. Like
That's Montana.
I thought Kentucky was in the middle of nowhere, but Montana is even more.
Montana is, I think Montana even, it means mountain.
Yeah.
The only thing there is mountains.
My host.
Or flat on the east.
What?
On the east it's really flat, so it's not only mountains.
My host family was really into Christmas. Like we had like I think like 5 Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Like they were crazy about like things like that. I really enjoyed that time.
One of the weird things, like last week,
Yeah.
I saw all these American high school TikToks. It was so weird.
On your TikTok.
Yeah, on my TikTok.
You were getting like flashbacks.
And I was like, oh, flashbacks. That was
Yeah.
weird.
We'll talk about that too, like
Yeah.
the expectations with like TikTok and stuff. But yeah, the idea is like you can send in questions or topics, or yeah, whatever really you want us to talk about. If you have a cool story, like we'll maybe call you. If you want to support us, get a hoodie. ExchangeLifeClothing.com. It's in the description. Yeah, we're really trying to create a community of all the exchange students around the world. So, yeah, that's really the plan.
Yeah.
I think that's it for the first episode.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, thank you for watching.
Might see you again.
Yeah, bye.
Ciao.